Good evening. This is Venkatesh presenting you today's special report. The brink of water crisis, we tend to blame everyone except ourselves. The biggest water bodies of Chennai city's Chroma and Adia river were polluted to the brink, and even when we witness it every day, we chose to close our eyes regarding it. Here is a brief detail about how much we have been polluting our source of fresh water. Kuvam. The river is narrow, placid, slow and meandering. The river is primarily fed by discharge from tank and water bodies and has seen a steady drop in fresh water over the years, a primary reason for its present day condition. However, the core problem of the Kuvam has been that due to the sandbar, the river mouth near the Napier Bridge gets blocked for most of the time, preventing the river water from draining into the sea. This has eventually made the river, in its 18-kilometer long stretch in the central district, a stinking cesspool. The study of the river was undertaken as part of a World Bank funded project and shows that it is 80% more polluted than treated sewer. Fish were able to survive in the water for only 3 to 5 hours even after samples were diluted. There are traces of heavy metals like copper and pesticides like endosulfan and linden in it. Public Works Department sources said government agencies like Chennai Corporation and business units and retail outlets on the banks of the river were responsible for the pollution. The water has almost no dissolved oxygen, and instead there are traces of heavy metals like copper besides sewage and sludge. Due to its narrowness and about 3,500 illegal hutments along its banks, it has not been recently desilted, which has closed it to river traffic. Per 2000 enumeration, about 9,000 families live along the river, in addition to 450 shops and commercial buildings. There are 700 odd points in the river bank where sewage flows straight into the river. There are 127 identified sewage outfalls into the river, out of which 85 are in use. In some of the spots in areas such as Maduravayal, more than 7 tons of municipal solid waste is being dumped in the river every day. Fortunately, there is another 42 km of this river which is still not polluted, which can be used to transport the water into Chennai and to store drinking water for Chennai's needs. There is huge amount of sand deposits in the banks of the unpolluted part of the Coombe River that could rejuvenate the groundwater level of numerous villages in the banks of this river. The Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change recently cleared the integrated Coombe River Eco Restoration Project of Tamil Nadu, covering a stretch of 9.6 km between the mouth of the river and Chetpet Railway Bridge. Despite the delay of 1 year, this has come as good news, raising people's hopes of seeing the river, which is now filled with all sorts of garbage and sewage, clean and restored to its pristine glory. However, a few experts who thereby bring the focus on restoring it feel that there are several issues that need to be addressed to ensure that this project doesn't fail like the other similar attempts in the past. Adyar. 3 years after the December floods flushed the Adyar river surface clean, garbage and plastic waste dumped by Ekadatangal residents has once again choked the water flow in the non-perennial river. The stretch of Adyar river along Ekadatangal remains one of the most polluted in the city, giving rise to mosquito breeding. To prevent garbage dumping, revenue officials are working on a plan to erect 10 feet tall retaining walls on either side of the 42 km Adyar river in select stretches. Garbage trucks and tricycles operated by the city corporation visit the interior roads of Ekadatangal every morning, but many residents on either side of the river continue to use the water body as a landfill. Efforts by conservancy workers who travel on the river in boats to clear garbage at least once a week has not achieved the desired result. Water in this part of the river is stagnant as plastic waste has choked its flow. Sewage draining into the water body through a canal which travels from Ramapuram is further adding to the pollution. Adyar river originates from water bodies in Manimangalam village, Kanjipuram, travels downstream through Tirunirmalai and enters the city near Nandambakam, where it collects industrial effluents from factories. We have to deal with not just waste generated in Ekadatangal, but also sewage and effluents from upstream, a corporation official said. An additional surplus course from Chembarambakam reservoir also joins the Adyar river, which takes excess rainwater along Anagaputur, Manapakam, Ramapuram, Saidapet and Koturpuram before emptying it into the Bay of Bengal at Adyar estuary. In addition to erecting retaining walls, revenue officials will widen the river width. When the widening exercise begins, several homes built on the river bank will have to be demolished. Once the walls are up, we will be able to maintain the river better, said an official. Water is a rare commodity that should be handled with care in order to ensure survival. Reckless dumping of sewages into freshwater bodies can not only threaten the nature but also puts our own existence into question mark. So people have to open their eyes to this issue and join hands in making this once magnificent water bodies pure again. Thank you.